Interviews, education. We are TNM News.
Hi, everybody. Todd Dankin here with TNM News, and I am in TNM News logo heaven. So welcome to my little logo haven and heaven. And back with me once again is Sugar and Spice. Don't think that we didn't debut them right here on TNM News, because we did. But of course, it's Bella and Dee. What's up, ladies? How's everything going?
Oh, living the dream. Living the dream.
Nice. Well, there you go. As you may or may not remember, but how could you not? Bella is from Lit Spices. That's at lit_spices on social and litspices.com. And what she does is she infuses spices with CBD, a whole line of spices, like she's holding up right there. And we're going to talk about cooking with those today, of course, with our favorite chef, Chef Dee, who is, of course, at Edible Dee. And make sure that you get her latest book, number 3, now available on Amazon.com, also on edibledee.com, Cooking with Psychedelics. How great is that? Right? So, Dee and Bella, welcome to TNM News. What is happening this week? How was your week?
Thank you for having us again.
I know.
This is so fun. I'm like,
Yeah, we should keep this going.
we have to.
Yeah, we should. We should. I enjoy, especially, sugar and spice. It's everything nice, right?
Yeah. So tell me about Sugar and Spice. Who's Sugar and who's, well, I guess, Bella, you're Spice, and you're the original Sugar Mama, so you're Sugar, right? That's great. So you guys have been cooking together. What's been going on?
We've been creating some magic, some straight magic, and like you just announced, yes, Delic Dishes is out and available on EPUB for Kindle, as well as print versions on edibledee.com, as well as
Yay!
And
and the spices are in there, as well as I dropped lots of science in there on what actually, like, the synergy between having CBD and psilocybin. There's lots of different case studies that are going on about the University of Miami. So it's full of lots of knowledge, lots of insight, and a lot of the pioneers that are really moving and shaking things up in the psychedelic industry, as well as yours truly is one of the panelists and speakers on Prohibition Partners. Prohibition Partners is a huge psychedelic, basically a conference, a webinar that happens every year, and it's based out of the UK. And I'm speaking there along with many pioneers in the industry, both cannabis and psychedelic-wise. Maps will be there. Carlos Santana is as well one of the panelists. Steve D'Angelo, my good friend. And so that airs November 17th through the 20th. And I get to, thanks to the feedback I've been getting on Delic Dishes, I've had quite a lot of podcasts all over the world.
Awesome.
It's great to see the movement going this way. So, which is why I had to get my girl involved, as well as because I dropped heavy knowledge on there with CBD and how it interacts with psilocybin. And we cooked with both in the recipe that we're featuring on TNM News today.
Oh, that's nice. That's great. And how about Oregon legalizing psilocybin and pretty much every other drug?
Right? I'm so excited. I mean, microdosing psilocybin has literally changed my life.
You're not the first person to tell me that. That's awesome. Tell me what your life was like before you were microdosing and what it's like now.
Well, when I first began my, microdosing, because I didn't really understand the concept. I'd done mushrooms before, obviously, but I did them. Obviously.
We all.
But before I wrote my book, I definitely posted it that I was an advocate of them. But before that, I was, the boomers, right? I'd do like 1.5 grams. You do enough so you would have an ancestral experience, cosmic.
Hey, I'm a boomer, so be careful what you say about those boomers. I'm older than I look, I hope.
Boomers are the best boomers, but I call them the shamanic doses, and I go over that. You go through microdoses, and then I have a meditative dose, and then where you can just do a lot of head work and self work, and then I call it the shamanic dose, and that's when you're trying to open portals. And I go through all of this in my book. And I'd have to say that when I did it before, I didn't really start making it a habit until 2 years ago when I lost my business. I hit a huge depression where I didn't know what was going to happen to me. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was contemplating early retirement, and lots of things went into my mindset. And I knew that mind before, of like when I lost my sister. It's just like kind of like when I suffered a loss. It's like I became the worst version of myself. All I did was drink. I like barely ate. I was just so self-absorbed into what I lost, and I couldn't even see anything positive out of it. And I tell you what, I thought a friend that had been microdosing for a while suggested it, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I don't need to be doing mushrooms." Like, and
I know, that's how I feel about it. Like all the time, I'm like, "What? Wait a second, you're right."
Like, I don't want to do it when I'm this and he's just like, "No, you don't trip." And that's kind of what you have to get past when you're microdosing. It's not that high of a dose. However, just a little bit has numerous benefits. It was a natural, for me, it was like a natural caffeine too. I've even added it in my tea, but even taking it solo, definitely added a lot more pep in my step, as well as I just felt like I had a hack to life. I felt like things were easier. Like I was working through challenges faster, and just like
almost like the weight is lifted off, the pressure you don't feel.
Just things, like instead of having there'd be times, like one time when her and I were chefing together, and like something didn't turn out right, and my brain just immediately went, whoop, I know how to fix this. Snap out of it. Snap out of it.
She felt me. I was like, oh, I was like,
yeah,
I was so upset. I was
like,
upset.
watch this. And it was just, and that's just kind of, I started feeling that. I started feeling a lot more empathetic and easier to understand people. It made me a lot better dealing with people. It made me a lot better at my job. And yeah, honestly, and it was a perfect antidepressant. I just noticed that was another thing. I didn't want to drink.
That's what I hear from, you're not the first person to tell me this, that it has helped depression, severe PTSD and anxiety, as well as the no craving for alcohol.
Yeah. And that was the main thing. That was definitely, it is depressing, and it was definitely adding to, keeping me in that world, because our minds will build our own heaven or hell, however we want to play it.
Sure.
And it literally something that I didn't think that I thought would be the worst decision ended up being the best decision, and definitely, and it makes sense because as we've talked about when we were talking about my book and past episodes we've done, that it's like a natural probiotic, and it's very good for your gut, and 80 to 90% of your body's serotonin is actually made in your gut, so it is a natural mood balancer. So and that's all mushrooms. Mushrooms are just magical. All mushrooms are magical.
Yeah, and loaded with protein also. It's a great plant protein product as well.
Yeah.
So that's great. So, and my last question about the psychedelics and the because I get asked this all the time and I don't really know the answer, but what is a microdose? How much, and how do you know how much to take? Or do you just have to kind of wing it, and like pot is with medical conditions?
It definitely varies on the person. It always will. Body mass, your height, weight, the weight of your metabolism. Also what medicines you're on. And that's the same with cannabis. You can be on certain benzos, and the effects of cannabis cannabinoids as well as psilocybin you won't feel. If you're on an antibiotic, you won't trip. It's just like certain chemicals just block these compounds from actually getting active and taking effect. Right. So lots of things come into play with it. However, online, it's kind of widely suggested on many platforms saying 1/10 of your trip dose, and I would co-sign with that. It's
what does that mean? 1/10 of your trip dose? What does that mean?
Well, that's why I lay out in my book of the shamanic dose, the meditative dose, and the microdose. So a meditative dose, that's the dose that I like to do when I need to do some head work. So sometimes, this is something that I do when I meditate in the bathtub, and maybe I have some challenges going on in production, or just something, something's not setting right. And I'll use it in meditation to kind of work through, because it definitely aids, and it opens up different parts of your brain, and it definitely grants clarity. I have to say that I've never done a meditative dose and not come up with a solution to whatever I was trying to work through. And for me, in my body weight, I'm 127 pounds, and I'm 5'6", and my metabolism's pretty high, pretty good. So for me, it was about 1 gram is a good meditative dose. For me, a microdose is around 0.325. Or like I use a 4-size capsule, and I'll capsule them myself and grind them up myself. And I either add it into my tea, or I'll take I just use the capsules.
Awesome. And now you got a whole book about how to cook with it and add it to different recipes, so people can microdose for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right?
Well, I wouldn't suggest that. I would definitely suggest doing it just once in the morning, because it does, it acts for me, for myself, it acts as a natural caffeine.
Right. Maybe I should say breakfast, lunch, or dinner, right?
Well, like I would say, I did not write the book to be a complete party, kind of book.
No, it's definitely for therapeutic, for sure, right?
Yes, yeah. Some people do. They're out there, and I don't understand. I love you guys. I love you so much. I love my ravers. I am burner, like Burning Man, etc. But I can't do mushrooms like a high dose in around that many energies at a festival. I have no idea how people can do it.
No, it's right.
It's really intense.
I want to be very in control of my setting.
100%.
I want to be in my bath. I want to be, with good energy companies, creating. Yeah. It's excellent. That's why, she said we did a microdose, because we'll just take one and then, just come up with we'll come up with sugar and spice.
Yeah.
And
right.
Come up with different ideas. It's excellent brain food.
Yeah. Great. Well, that's awesome. Make sure you check out Dee's book so you can learn more about psilocybin. It is the next legalized drug, in my opinion. I think in a lot of people's opinions, that's going to legalize and really change the mental health of not only here in the United States, but all over the world, where mental health, especially here in the United States, there literally isn't any. I mean, it's not offered, it's shunned upon, and
that's chemical damage.
Yeah, it's just a mess. But psilocybin has shown great promise to help with depression and PTSD and anxiety. I was just talking to Jackie McGowan last week, and she said it literally saved her life. She quit smoking and was so anxious and became depressed and was suicidal, and started, she went down to Florida, got some mushrooms with some friends, very reluctantly. Also, was like, wait, I don't want to, just like you were saying, I don't know, I don't want to trip, but it changed her life and saved her life. And now she's under a doctor's care, and she does microdosing, every day. And she said it literally saved her life. You can check out that interview right here on TNM News. Check out our YouTube channel at the National Marijuana News, and we're all over Facebook at nationalmjnews.com. No, at nationalmjnews. No.com. That's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and all of that stuff is there. But check out the interview I did with Jackie. It is quite eye-opening. So sugar and spice, what do we got happening in the kitchen today? Last time we talked about these delicious waffle churros, and today maybe something different, something Italian.
Yep, you hit it right. How'd you know?
Who
told
know?
you?
Well,
Was it spice?
No,
it wasn't spice.
I
did pull out the roasted garlic.
Well, there you go.
I was like,
that was my hint. That was
what?
my hint.
I knew it.
No, today we are showing you guys a recipe from my latest book, Delic Dishes. It's actually a remix of it, but I do my Papa's Off-Planet Pizza, because dedicated to my papa because he is a pizza fanatic. And this pizza definitely took us off planet the other day. It's, again, Delic Dishes is available at edibled.com. However, I'm doing video versions of each recipe, and we're going to be airing them on the National Marijuana News every so now and then. So
Yay!
be sure to keep checking. So you'll get a dose of magic and happiness in these ones, as well as we help you get lit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So how's it going with you two cooking in the kitchen together? Has that been fun?
Oh, so much fun. So much fun. It literally is always an adventure.
Always. Always.
Nice. And what is the featured spice for this pizza?
Okay. You want to do it?
Okay, got that one. So we got right here the roasted garlic and herb.
Nice.
And the Himalayan pink salts. I
Nice.
use this in the dough as well as in the sauce.
I use this all up in the sauce.
Nice.
All of
And right, and those spices, Bella, for those folks who don't know, they're infused with CBD. And how'd you come up with that idea?
Oh my goodness. So it's like such a crazy story, but to make it short, I have epilepsy. 7 years ago, I got diagnosed with it. So this kind of started more like as a joke because I was starting to do a lot of research about CBD. And I was already smoking, but not for the benefits, just to get high. I like being high.
But that's the good thing about getting high, though. Even if you're smoking for recreational, you still get the benefits of the medical aspects of it.
Exactly. So, but I wasn't focusing on the benefits. So I really wanted to try the CBD. And to me, it didn't make any sense. Okay, if I smoke it, like I'm not going to get high. That's just not my thing. I want to feel that I'm smoking some good weed. So anyway, this was like a little joke, kind of just like popped up in my head, and I was like, it would be so cool to infuse them with spices. Like I come from a Colombian background. I was born in Colombia. My parents, they're from there as well. So I was always cooking with my mom and just spicing things up in the kitchen. That's what us Latinas do. So, so that's where I was like, okay, let me kind of put all my sources together and let me see what I can do. So yeah, everything kind of just fell into place with this. And I was like, I really have something here. And like, the more that like I kept talking to people about and just saying, like slowly introducing it just to get like people's opinions, just to like kind of build more confidence in myself to really like, no, like I did create magic, but it also is difficult because you have, a lot of other people that will just kind of throw different negative opinions, and I was honestly like scared of that. So I just wanted everything to be so positive with this, and it has been beautiful. It's been the funnest journey. Everybody I've been meeting, Dee, this is like one of my best friends already. I have had like such a fun time cooking all the things that we do and putting so many different things together, this whole collab that we're also, going to share with you guys. I'm so excited. The new flavors we're doing, like this is going to be just, it's going to get bigger and bigger, but yeah.
Well, that's awesome. That's great. It's great to be able to solve a problem in your life, right? And then create a business out of it. I mean, because that's what you've done, right? You've taken one of your biggest issues, you changed your life, and now you're helping others change their lives by really letting them heal using your spices. That's awesome. And you hook up with, of course, well, there you go. Check it out. It's at litspices.com, at lit_spice. Make sure you check that out. And then you come to Las Vegas and you meet the best chef that I've ever met, Dee Russell. And now you guys have hit it off. So Dee, you're a truthful, person, especially when it comes to being in the kitchen. Tell me why you like Dee Spice or Bella Spices so much. I'll call him Dee Spices, right? So, right, maybe you come out with Dee's brand of.
Well, one of her on the new flavor, we threw her little.
Yes, on the new.
Yeah,
the new, right?
Good. Then honey churro actually has my churro recipe.
Nice.
Yep.
Awesome.
So when you scan the QR code, it downloads directly to, as well as you get the lab test, the C of A.
Right. Awesome. That's awesome. So you guys look like you're two peas in a pod, and ready to take over the world.
We kind of are.
All right, so tell us about what we're going to see you guys cook today in this this fancy schmancy pizza.
Ooh, off-planet pizza. So we decided, as you know, we told you in our last show that we did with Todd, I am a mezcal margarita fan, and I gained another one as well. So we picked up a bottle of mezcal before we were going to whip up some recipes for you guys. And so I decided to do my off-planet pizza. And then instead I was like, since we're drinking margaritas, let's do a margarita pizza. So that was the remix. Instead of doing the veggie, the vegetarian style pizza as I do in my book, switched up a little bit and we did a margarita pizza as well as had some very delicious mezcal margaritas. And this particular recipe is infused with THC, CBD, and magic psilocybin. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. And Bella, anything special that goes into your spices to make them, better for CBD infusion, or what's different about just the normal non-infused CBD? Spices.
The CBD, you get all those amazing benefits: inflammation, chronic pain, mood enhancing. I know a lot of people told me it makes me feel so good. I'm like, keep taking your CBD.
Right. CBD does that for a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just like an enhanced spice. Spices are to me, they're like such an important factor in your life. Just with all the amazing benefits that also, I'm breaking down with formulating each spice different. Because, I have like black pepper in this one, the onion, parsley, coriander, paprika, and then I have, the CBD. So all those blends are really, really good for you. So I wanted to come up with just something also that was like more on the natural and organic side, because CBD is natural and organic. So,
yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, so.
Awesome. All right. So get your pen and paper ready so you can take notes and you can learn how to make Papa's Off-Planet Pizza. And we'll be back to wrap things up after Sugar and Spice take you to the kitchen.
Life's a trip, and then you get high. So get high with us. Or I should say, get lit?
Get lit.
We're gonna get lit today. All right, it's coming to you. It's Edible Dee, your girl, the Happy Chef. And we are on the Happy Chef show, as well as we are getting lit today with my girl Lit Spices, with some additions to the happy remix of my latest cookbook, Delic Dishes, Off-Planet Pizza. That's right. We're doing a little remix for my version in the Delic Dishes cookbook, just letting you guys know that's Delic Dishes, the Happy Chef's Guide to Cooking with Psychedelics. So we're cooking with happiness, we're cooking with magic, we're getting litty. We are the Litty Committee. This is what we do. So this is my Papa's Off-Planet Pizza, where we're gonna make the dough. We always be making dough, but we're gonna make some dough, and then the remix of it is we're gonna make this particular Off-Planet Pizza a margarita Off-Planet Pizza. And also we're gonna, pair that with a mezcal margarita with my girls. We're gonna do a little Himalayan pink salt the rim with that mezcal, which is the Happy Chef fave of the tequilas. And so let's get cooking. So,
Boom.
Bam! I'm gonna let the Spice Queen over here. She's gonna handle the sauce. The not so secret is in the sauce. And so right now, how we start off the recipe is BAM! All right, so you guys got the list of ingredients right here, where we're gonna go step by step, except for, again, we are making the margarita pizza. This is vegetarian friendly. And we're back. So, secret to this recipe, as I put in my cookbook, you have to see this right here is the most perfect yeast. One packet will do you just nicely for your pizza crust. And I put this in about 3/4 cup of warm water. And the first step in this magic method is to add this into the water with a dab of honey. Honey. And we're gonna let this sit and foam up for about 8 to 10 minutes. Bam, I got a little dab of honey. Oh yeah, that's just, all right, let's do 2 dabs. I'm always a 2 dabber anyway. All right, so while we let that in the mix, I'm gonna let my spice queen get at you with the sauce.
Okay, so for the sauce, we got tomato sauce, and we're gonna be throwing in the roasted garlic and herb and a little bit of the pink Himalayan salt. So, all this up in here, pour it all out. Grab some tomato paste, about what, like 3 spoons.
Yeah, make sure you get about a half a can in there. I'll say about 3 tablespoons will do you.
Yeah, so about 3, about 3 and a half in there. Okay, starting to stir that all up. And then, yep, we'll get some of the roasted garlic and herb up in there. So with the roasted garlic and herb, 1 tablespoon equals out to 20 milligrams of CBD. So we're gonna start with 1 tablespoon. I can eyeball it out. It's about 1 tablespoon right there. So you can add as much of it as you please.
Literally. Literally, as you please. This is delicioso. Okay.
Yes.
Happy Chef approved.
And we sprinkle a little bit of the pink salt as well on
I'm
it.
a fan of that pink salt.
Yep, open it up.
Ooh. So cute!
So cute and it smells
cute.
amazing. All right.
Oh, it does. It smells a different. Oh,
Yep, now get a little bit of pepper, you know.
let's go ahead. We're going to add some of Edible Dee's infused olive oil right here.
Yeah, we
All
some-
right.
some-
Got at least 1 tablespoon of that.
Some pepper.
I like pep in my step.
Yeah.
Pepper is full of beta-caryophyllene, a very popular terpene that was actually falsely identified as a cannabinoid because it's a terpene that's in everything. It's in every single strain of cannabis, which is why it was falsely identified as a cannabinoid, because cannabinoids are only found in cannabis, whereas terpenoids are found in many other plants.
Ooh, wanna taste
So,
it?
always. Ooh. I love it.
Awesome, I trust you.
It's nice and sweet too.
Awesome.
Perfect. Perfect, Sonia. Except for, hold on. It is missing,
What's it missing?
I think it's missing a little magic. I think it's missing magic. You know, I came straight out of Wonderland myself. So we got a little bit of ground magic for you, and we're gonna add in 1.5 grams of that magic ingredient for you. We're gonna play a little bit of edible roulette today. So may the odds be ever in our favor.
Oh my god, that is bomb.com.
Ooh, see, told
Oh
you.
my god.
It's a little sweet, right? I need to need. That's what happened, guys. All right, so look at that. This is nice and foamy in that water and that pizza crust yeast. So I'm gonna do the 1 3/4 cups of bread flour, and I'm gonna go ahead and add our water and yeast in. Let's see. Do a little tisp of some of my infused olive oil. Now let's do a little pinch of the lit Himalayan pink.
Never go wrong with that.
Can never go wrong with that. All right. I felt like a superhero when I just did that. I felt like a superhero. The dough is ready. First, spray the cooking oil in the pan. Cast iron, it's always good to clean with cooking oil. So I'm going to do it now. You want to go ahead and spread this dough out to your desired thickness. Now we gotta add the sauce and all the cute toppings. And we're doing this margarita. So let's go ahead and throw that sauce on there. Ooh, yes, beauty. Ooh, look at that. And once you spread your sauce on there, now it's time to add the toppings. Let's go ahead and add the cheese.
Wow, that looks awesome. How was it?
Oh, it was.
Oh, amazing.
It was so good. We ate the whole thing. Literally ate the whole thing.
You find yourself getting stoned and hungrier and then eating more?
It was complete torture.
It's
at
nonstop.
first. It was torture because we hadn't eaten anything, and that was the first recipe that we were doing. And so, like, as we're building it, it's just smelling good, and we're just torturing ourselves, which is probably why we ate the whole pizza. We saved none for friends.
None.
And the experience was absolutely fabulous because that's when we came up with the sugar and spice. It just hit me like lightning. And that's also when we came up with the holiday gift bundles that we were doing this ending this 2020. We had to end with something sweet.
Nice. So talk about your gift bundles. What are they?
Well, we're doing a collaboration where we're providing in each bundle a unit, one copy of the Happy Chef Cannabis cookbook, including a free album from Be Real of Cypress Hill, and with different holiday bundles and different packages of lit spices. So we have the little Italy version, which has the roasted garlic and the pink salt with a cookbook. We also have the new honey churro seasoning with the pink salt and a cookbook. We have the whole line, as well as with the Rasta one.
Rasta,
We did a Rasta one with Jamaican jerk and Himalayan pink salt, as well as a copy of the Happy Chef. And all of them are priced between $24.20 and $44.20, and available at www.lit-spices.com.
Yep, we got it.
Well, there you go. That's awesome. And is that your holiday special for Thanksgiving so people can use it for Thanksgiving or more for the Christmas dinner or all of those holidays?
Yeah, we're doing Thanksgiving and Christmas. So this is a special holiday deal, and it's a good one. So I
think it'd be great if everyone adds.
You kidding me, guys?
I see what you did there.
Filled with happiness.
Right, so it's easy just to add these spices and add the power of CBD just to any dinner, but especially on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner, if the family gets too much, pour yourself a bath and just dump this in there.
Oh, so you can use that too, the Himalayan salt for your bath as well?
Absolutely. And as you saw, you can rim your glass with it and have a nice margarita again if the family's getting too much.
Right. So how much would you put in a bath to really get the effect of, enough to soak in?
That's a good question. It was funny because I was working a bar last summer, and my mom said something to me about like taking a bath, like a salt bath. So that's when, like, a couple months later, I was like, oh, I have this pink salt, it has a CBD in it. So honestly, I poured like half the bottle in my bath.
Yeah.
And I was like, I almost fell asleep. I was like, okay, I gotta wake up. But it was like, it was so relaxing. Like, I called my mom, I was like, oh my God, this was the most amazing bath I ever took. I needed that so bad. I worked like a 14-hour shift, and yeah, it was literally, I poured like half the bottle in the bath. So
yeah, it's like an Epsom salt kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't know, but like I know people have their preference of how much salt goes into their salt baths.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had one of my bath bombs that I have available on AmericanGreenCBD.com, and took a bath with one of those, the lavender one, and I added in about half of this bottle. I had to army crawl out of my bathtub. My legs were just, I infused it so much that my legs, I felt like I tried to stand, they were wobbling and everything. I'm like literally getting out of the tub. Like,
that's an awesome visual for me. Thank you.
It relaxed me that much. That's why I had to be truthful with you guys, you know? So make sure if you
Right, Dee's like,
do this at the end of your day, make sure you
right.
Yeah.
it was great, but the cats loved it. The cats were just hilarious. He was just whacking me in the face, like, "Mom, what are you doing on the floor?"
Right.
This
Oh,
is-
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right, so make sure you look for Dee's book, Delic Dishes. It's now available at Amazon.com. It's available at edibledee.com and anywhere else you buy fine books on cooking. But make sure you check out edibledee.com and get all of that. And also make sure you go to litspices.com and check out Bella's creations, these CBD infused spices, all the good stuff you need to make all of your meals delicious. You see what I did there?
I did.
D and B-licious. Oh, I wrote that right there. Delicious and B-licious.
Look at that. I'm so proud. Now your whips are coming.
You can be licious with Bella and delicious with Dee.
I love that. Oh my God.
See, there you go.
Wow.
Just came up with our new one.
Delicious. There you go.
A lot of fun with
Do
this
that
now.
for like a Valentine's Day thing.
You're welcome.
I know. Thank you. You'll
Oh,
get your
we got
10%.
some content to work on next.
Yes, we do. Right. So we're going to be back next time with another recipe. We're going to see Dee and Bella cooking even more cool stuff using the lit spices. And of course, Dee's recipe from her book, Delic Dishes, which allows you to learn how to cook with psychedelics and cannabis and CBD. How good is that? So ladies, thanks again for joining us here. Check out Bella once again at lit_spices and litspices.com. And Edible Dee is at Edible Dee everywhere and edibledee.com. That's who they are. I'm Todd Dankin. I'm with TNM News. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you get your news. You can find TNM News. Thanks a lot, everybody. Good night and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Bye.
We are TNM News.